Now that we've covered writing a lab report or a scientific article or paper, let's talk about some other types of writing you're going to need to do in your career: cover letters and personal statements. So our learning objectives are to learn how to write cover letters and personal statements, as well as analyze and critique them. So a cover letter is required for almost any job that you apply for. And this is like your letter of application. It introduces yourself, highlights your key experience, explains why you should get this job, why you are a good fit for the company. And this is like your first impression. It can make or break you and determine whether you get an interview or not. Cover letters vary in format and tone by field. So if you're applying for something in the science field, it's going to be more formal and scientific and speak to your skills and your hands-on skills in particular. Whereas if you're applying to something in advertising or a more creative field, your cover letter might be more casual and creative. The general format of a cover letter, so this is the business setup that you're going to set on your Word document. On the top left corner, you'll start with your address, then you'll have a break, and then you'll do today's date and another break, and then the person you're writing to and the address of the company you're writing to. So you want to try to find a specific person to address the letter to, and usually it will say on the job ad, please direct applications to, and then a person's name, but you might also have to look onto the HR website to do this. And you don't want to just direct it to the hiring person. You want to, if possible, direct it to the person who will be your boss or the person whose team you're going to join. You want to limit it to about a page and end with a signature. You can do one of those digital signatures, but depending on the field, they might prefer you to print it out, sign it in ink, and then scan it back. Again, you want to tailor this to the job. You want to be specific. You don't want to submit the same cover letter to every job you apply to, but instead personalize it to what the ad says and what the mission of the company is. You want to bring up the qualities that they highlight and that they're looking for in particular. This shows that you put a little time and effort into it, and you're really serious about this application, and you're not just blanketing 100 applications with the same material. You want to back up any claims with examples. So if you say that you are good with time management, you want to bring up the example of how you were able to balance a schedule of 18 credit hours, 10 hours a week at a job, 10 hours a week doing research, etc. So you want to, anytime you make a general statement, you want to back it up with evidence. You want to avoid jargon, avoid long sentences, etc. There are 3 main sections to a cover letter. Your opening paragraph is going to state why you're writing and who you are. And then if you know someone at the company or if someone told you to apply, that's when you want to establish that point of contact if possible. Your 2 to 3 body paragraphs, they're going to highlight the best points of your CV. So your cover letter is meant to complement your CV, not exactly mimic it. You want to bring up your education and experience that match the ad, again, showing that you've read the job ad thoroughly, and elaborate with examples. And really explain what you're going to be bringing to the role and to the company. You want to close with an action, like I would, please contact me at your earliest convenience to set up an interview, or I look forward to interviewing with you, something that speaks to the future. You want to indicate what materials are in your application. Enclosed, you will find a copy of my CV and 3 letters of recommendation. And you want to also offer to provide additional materials if they want them. End with a thank you that's sincere, and close with your name and signature. Questions to consider. So who's my audience? Who's going to be reading this? Is it someone in HR? Is it a particular team manager? What is my objective? What are the objectives and needs of my audience? So what are they looking for? How can I best express my objective in relationship to my audience objectives? How can I show that I'm a good fit? What specific benefits can I offer to the audience, and how can I express them? What opening sentence or paragraph will grab the attention in a positive manner? How can I maintain and heighten the interest and desire of my reader throughout the letter? I want to keep them engaged. What evidence can I present? If a resume is enclosed, how can I make the letter advertise my resume or CV? What closing sentence or paragraph will best assure the reader of my capabilities and persuade them to contact me? Is this letter my best professional effort? And have you spent sufficient time drafting, revising, and proofreading? There is nothing worse than not proofreading a cover letter. Some of the worst mistakes are addressing it to the wrong company. So you send out multiple cover letters and you mix up which goes what. Bad. Proofread it, have someone else proofread it too. So this is an example. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but it starts with highlighting a personal connection. So saying, I learned of this position through this person who I know through my work with a certain office. She received the posting from this other person and shared it with me as she thought I would be an ideal candidate. You don't want to repeat your resume, but compliment. So as you can see from my resume, I graduated cum laude from UW-Madison with a Bachelor of Arts. Then you want to speak to the company's mission. So this is all about how she's passionate about audiology and speech pathology, and then detail your qualifications. So having worked as an undergrad researcher, I've gained all this experience. And again, you're complimenting, you're explaining the backstory behind what your CV says. And then end, I appreciate the opportunity to discuss my qualifications with you in person. Please feel free to contact me at this email or phone number. Now let's talk about a personal statement. So cover letters are mainly for jobs. Personal statement is the essay that you're going to write if you apply to any sort of graduate school or program. And it's either going to be a general personal statement, so they'll say something like, include a personal statement. And you'll be like, great. Or sometimes they'll ask a set of specific questions you have to answer. The general personal statement, you're going to use that same business heading as a cover letter. Again, try to find someone specific to address it to. And then if they ask a question, answer it. Otherwise, you're just explaining why you want to go into this field, why you're a good fit for the program in particular. You want to tell a story. This is a narrative. This is the story of your professional scientific life. So try to weave in examples and be specific. And again, research the school and personalize the letter. If their program is really big into research hours and they're going to give you 4 different rotations in all these different labs, and they're really going to emphasize their research skills you're going to build, bring that up, right? Maybe they have a global outlook and they like to partner with people across the world. Bring that up and explain why you're a good fit. So you want to sell yourself, but also sell yourself specifically to that school or program. So in the opening paragraph, you're going to open with a hook to get their attention and then lay out a roadmap for what you're going to talk about. In your body, you want to give examples to reinforce your main point. And in closing, you want to summarize and make that final pitch for yourself. Questions to consider for a personal statement include what's special, unique, distinctive, or impressive about you or your life story. What details about your life might help the committee better understand you or set you apart? How did you become interested in this field and what have you learned about it that has further reinforced that conviction? If you have worked a lot during your college years, what have you learned from those work experiences? What are your career goals? Now, if there are gaps or discrepancies in your academic record, like say you don't test well, so your GRE scores are not great, or you started with low grades in your freshman year, but you've since improved them. You want to provide a backstory and explain that issue. Have you overcome any unusual obstacles or hardships? What personal characteristics do you possess that would improve your prospects for success in this field or profession? And what are the most compelling reasons that you give for the admissions committee to be interested in you? This is the sales pitch of you as a person. So this is an example. The hook, my interest in science date back to my years in high school where I excelled in physics, chemistry, and math, and then speak to experiences. When I began my undergraduate career, I had the opportunity to be exposed to the full range of engineering courses. Get specific. So in the realm of engineering, I've developed a special interest in laser technology, and then end with that final pitch. I'm highly aware of the superb reputation of your school, and my conversations with several of your alumni have served to deepen my interest in attending. These are the websites you can go to for some more information. And for your assignment, you're going to have to write a cover letter for a fake job and a personal statement for a fake application to a graduate program. So best of luck.